Starting from week 1, I have learned so many things that is not only beneficial to me, but also beneficial to my brand. Starting from discussion 1, learning on how to use social media to our advantage, how to set up our blog, that was the biggest thing for me. Learning how to set up a blog. I was never too much familiar with using blogs, but from week 1 all the way through until now, I've learned how to not only set up a blog, but how to use it to my advantage and to my brand's advantage as well. Another thing is in week 1, we also learned about different social media networks such as LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and I had chose Instagram. So one thing that I can say is that, of course, I knew about these social media sites, but I learned more about how LinkedIn can be beneficial for your business. It could help you expand your business with your employees, help get your name out there on LinkedIn. People can search your company. You can search other companies and use key tips on how to make your business successful in the industry. In week 2, we started talking about personal brands some more and individuals that we admire. I chose Ellen DeGeneres at the time because I really admire her and everything that she has done for the community as a whole, her community and nationwide. But of course now with everything going on behind her, I don't know much about if it has anything to do specifically with her or just her show, the casting and employees on the show. But I'm watching that to see how that goes. But I still admire what she has done prior to that. And another thing that we have done is we created our personal brand strategy. Of course, coming up with the personal brand strategy, it took some time, but throughout this week, using the text and the different resources that was at our fingertips, it flowed naturally. I did learn of the importance of making eye-catching tweets and status updates or having a great headline. And I want to say that helped me when I created my name for my business. I wanted to incorporate my family's name into it, which was Winborn. So I did From Winborn with Love. And then it also helped me catch up with a catchy headline that I would use for my business as well, which was Made with Love in Every Bite, because I wanted to let users know and I wanted to put that out there. So I want to say that during week 3, I definitely learned how to do that. Another thing during that week that I did learn is how to network and how important it is for you to link up with other individuals when you're in the field and when you're in that field of work. So I was able to search up different bloggers, businesses on different social sites and use them as a resource in order to figure out how I was going to network with my business to make it a success. During week 4, I learned the importance of preparation with the Brandon storyboard because I used that resource in order to do my podcast this week, because I was able to prepare my material ahead of time and go off of the notes that I jotted down throughout the weeks in order to create this podcast. Of course, I've heard of LinkedIn before, but during week 5, we brushed up a lot more on LinkedIn and how to craft our LinkedIn for a business. And there was different resources that we used in order to come up with a successful LinkedIn profile, which is great for our brand because, of course, as I stated before, we would be able to use that to our advantage when it comes for looking for employees and expanding our organization. In week 6, we went into the RSS feeds, which I was not familiar with, but then I definitely learned about that week. It was very particular and interesting, but I finally got it, and I learned the process on how to include that on our blog in order to post proper blog podcast content. And that week prepared me for this week. So in order for us to know how to create our podcast. And then now we're on week 7. In this week, we get to use everything that we learned from week 1 through 6 and incorporate that into all of our Dropbox assignments. And I am excited about that. I am glad to have taken this class as an elective because it taught me a lot of things that I didn't know about social media, because of course we use it on a regular basis, but we never knew how we can use social media to our advantage and how many different social media websites there really are and the importance of having them. In conclusion, thank you very much for the experience in this class and for everything that you've taught us up until this point.